What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Claru.
And this is episode 25 of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Wow, okay.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah, you're just tacking it on there.
You gotta tackle Brotherhood.
Yeah. We left on a bit of a cliffhanger.
Brotherhood.
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 Mm-hmm. Nailed it.
Brotherhood.
Brotherhood.
I just picture like a lake of frogs being like, Brotherhood. Brotherhood.
The foe!
I haven't thought about that in so long. If you want to follow your action, go to patreon.com/nerdynightly, but this is going to be episode 25 and 26.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to figure out who Pride is, and I don't know who it is.
Yeah, we were talking about it, and I was like, okay, who do you think it is?
I don't know. I just don't. I don't have, because I'm assuming that because they hid the face, it's either going to be someone introduced in this episode,
Okay.
who's going to be super innocent looking and like you're not going to expect, or it's going to be someone who we've met. But of the people that we've met, there's not a lot of people left that would make sense for them to have been a villain this whole time. Mm-hmm. The like line between Führer and Mustang Cruz is pretty set mostly. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, I'm just curious. But let's get into it and let's find out together.
Anyone hear me?
Oh, we're in the stomach. I totally forgot where we were.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We left off on a cliffhanger.
That idiot, Prince! Who do you think you are to call me that?
He's not wrong.
You're emperor of a nation, an idiot.
I've done it many times.
And what about you? How do I know you're not envy? You little runt. Who you calling a little runt, you jerk? Okay, it's really you. And I'm guessing all the fire is from the Colonel's attack. Oh, yeah.
Attention to detail. I like it.
His belly be this huge? I have no idea.
It's called the TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't get swallowed. And he's safe. He's got to be freaking out, wondering where we are now.
He's not safe.
They're never safe, you know?
Gluttony, he's still standing in front of Gluttony.
Conveniently awakened telepathic powers! Elric brother telepathy!
Yeah, good luck with that.
I feel like they're making fun of other animes.
Of anime?
there.
I know, yeah.
Conveniently awakened telepathic powers. That's funny.
A wall! There has to be a wall! There has to be!
That was aggressive.
She's actually a panda, but she got a disease when she was a baby and it kept her from growing all the way. I nursed her back to health after her mother abandoned her.
Oh, there's like a whole plot around it. I thought it was just a miniature panda. Because it's a fantasy universe with magic.
Yeah. Actually, they sell them to influencers saying it's a teacup panda.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it grows up into a real panda, it's taken care of.
Nature's umbrella.
But at the time, I guess I just took pity on her more than anything.
Is Mei going to become the future Empress of Jing?
And she became a part of my family. We've been through so much together. She's always been with me.
I thought it was just to be cute. I didn't realize the panda was trained in martial arts.
I know for a fact that I couldn't have made it across the desert without her.
Sure, but that was a pointless endeavor anyway.
This guy's such a prick.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, cut it out. You're gonna drown us all. Ow!
And that's how that guy burned down Central.
Yeah, seriously.
The great Central fire of this year.
His people were completely wiped out during the Civil War a few years ago.
Not completely,
right.
because he's there.
And
Mostly.
the people in the desert.
Yeah.
What's the holdup? You coming or not?
Yeah, let's go!
Kids, man. Little rubber bands of emotion.
As soon as we're out, I'll let you order anything from room service. Now you can eat as much as you want, and sleep as long as you like.
Oh, that sounds great.
I'm seriously leaving you here! I'm not messing around, Ling!
I want this scene to be the rest of the episode. No, but like actually this time.
Yeah.
That should do it. Here you go. You don't have athlete's foot, do you?
My foot is made of metal, you idiot!
But like, couldn't they have alchemied that leather into something else?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know how food works. There's always weird rules around that.
Yeah. Like, I could understand them not being able to create meat.
Yeah.
But like, why not like oatmeal? You know what I mean? Like, why not rice?
I don't know.
Especially if you have something like leather that's already chemically been alive at some point.
Is that? I thought so. I should have known it'd be you guys.
Hey, what's up? You want to hang out?
You've really gotten us into a fine mess. I can't believe you got me swallowed with you.
To be fair, all of this is your fault.
Like an entirely white void.
Oh yeah? So that's what the real one looks like.
The real one?
Gluttony is a failed experiment by our father to create his own portal of truth.
That's crazy.
We're trapped inside a defective portal of truth.
Oh, interesting.
We're in between reality and truth.
Maybe they all just need to say like their deep dark fears and be honest, and then they'll get out.
Just to sit here until our strength runs out. And that's it.
Okay, so we eat Ling first, right?
Who would try to create their own portal? It's Führer Bradley, isn't it?
What, are you serious? Huh, nice try, but King Bradley's nothing more than a homunculus.
She's like, we're dead. It doesn't matter what I tell you now.
Yeah.
And if the Führer is on your side, then I'm guessing you're the ones behind Ishval.
Oh, Ishval!
Wait, what?
Because a military officer accidentally shot an Ishvalan child.
Yep. And the one that proudly pulled the trigger was none other than yours truly.
Flipping that blue eyes to red for this is fucking... Oh my god!
The poor fool couldn't come up with a plausible defense and they court-martialed him. You know, I don't think I'll ever get over how easily manipulated humans are.
Oh my god.
You're the one who turned Scar into a murderer. And it was you. You're the reason Winry's parents were killed. You're the one to blame!
Oh, Envy, do you really want the rest of your days to be fucking miserable? Because Ed's about to beat the shit out of you forever.
Just that he's freakishly heavy for the size of his body. He might be a bit bigger than he looks.
Fun. He's dense. Oh my god. Babe.
No.
Ere.
How is that, a homunculus?
Ere, we need Ere
It's
Yeager.
supposed to be...
Oh, Mikasa, where are the Archimans? Oh no! We can't fight the Titans without the Archimans!
I think Ling is the Ackermans.
Ling is the Archimans. Right, because Gluttony doesn't want to eat Al.
He's not allowed to, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's not allowed to, right?
What do I do?
Oh, I thought he was trying to eat the little panda.
Yeah.
Is he the one that made the homunculi?
Father made us.
He means us in a very different way than Al expects.
Will you take me to meet your father?
I guess so. He'll be happy since you're a human.
What?
Why are you bothering to let me live?
Because you aren't going to learn your lesson if you're dead, soldier.
That's a little kinky.
The moment a soldier dons his uniform, he accepts the reality that he might be buried in it.
Ah, fuck. He's so evil.
My hands were trembling with anger.
How can you even say such a
They're the worst person ever.
I know exactly who to use as your weak point.
Am I being transferred?
And my name is Storch. I'm the personal assistant to Führer Bradley. I need you to take this.
You've been promoted to being Führer's personal...
It's Central Command Center. As personal assistant to Führer Bradley.
See, that's how you keep your... What you were saying about keeping your friends, enemies closer?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, this design is freaky as fuck.
Yeah. I love it. It's so cool.
Can you make a weapon?
I love that anime characters all have feather fall. Where at the last second they're like, whew, and then they land.
And then on top of that, I'm pretty sure he broke 2 of my ribs.
Yeah, I'm pretty beat up myself. All that matters now is filling him with some pain.
Oh, I love this design.
It's something.
But this is the way. It can't be. Your father is living in Central?
Cool.
Damn it.
Well, damn, that was some good shit.
Some good shit.
That's some good shit in an episode.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I was a little bit less tired, I would have been a little bit more hype about stuff. That was one where I was like, I'm really enjoying this. I'm very exhausted today. But yeah, before I watch the next episode, I want to like eat and lie down for a bit.
Fair enough.
But having said that, good shit.
Yeah.
I like this story is really, it's kind of like flaked off all the shit that's not important and is really just about its narrative the whole time now.
Yeah.
And I'm loving that. Because even though this episode didn't really move anything forward, other than maybe the Mustang plot, it was just a bit of a reveal of the gluttony. Like there was some information in it, but wasn't...
There's good like setup, right? Like Al is going to meet the father and like... Mustang's like whole thing fell apart and
it's just that like this is the kind of episode where because people sometimes will accuse me of being like, yo, you just want everything right now, and I don't. Like I'm happy for this to be reveals of future stuff, but this is the kind of episode where all of this is about the plot and like moves it forward a little bit but stays about our characters and doesn't like stop to like distract itself. Everything felt very relevant, and that this show's been doing that for like the last like 10, 11, 12 episodes.
Yeah.
And I think that it's so strong because of that, right? Like every episode of the show has become very necessary, and I don't feel like I'm like I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's so nice about the show. Like I'm so invested in all of the little plots. Even like learning that May's like family is the lowest rung in Jing was really cool. And so I think that like the show's just cooking on all cylinders and it's just working. Everything about it is just like it's so tight.
Yeah.
It's really great. And the comedy is still funny, but isn't as like outside of world as some of the earlier comedy was.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you, because there was like a decent amount of like jokes in this episode. But
but none of the jokes are for our sake. The jokes are in world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the jokes are like if someone was there, they would find it funny, as opposed to being just like for us.
Yeah,
you know?
I hear you. Yeah.
And so, and Ling is really like everything about Ling is great now. You know what I mean? Like, but he doesn't feel like the same person at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Ling works because he feels like him and Ed are emotionally and like in relation to the consequence of the plot, relating to it on a similar level.
Yeah.
As opposed to Ed being like, this is very serious, and Ling being like, oh, it's gonna be fine because I'm a prince. La da da, fiddle dee dee. I'm gonna climb out a window. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that element of the character is gone.
Yeah.
And so, like, yes, I have grown to like Ling in these last couple of episodes, but he feels like a completely different person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, the stakes have changed. Like, his, like, world has kind of been, like, upended.
But the stakes haven't changed for him, and that's why he frustrated me early on. Like, Ling introduces himself as, hi, I am on a desperate quest for the most important thing in my kingdom. And, like, if Ling had been like, I'm just a tourist on a fucking doing whatever mission, and he was followed by these two people who were very serious, being like, he's an idiot, but we have to do, and then things became serious for him and he changed, that would be different. But he introduces himself as, like, what I am doing is the most important and, like, biggest thing that has ever happened in my, like, this is an absolutely vital mission for the sake of my nation.
Yeah.
And I'm a patriot. And so him being jokey about that didn't work for me because what he set up as his goal and the stakes of his goal versus how he was treating it felt very frivolous and silly.
Yeah.
Whereas this version of Ling that we've had for 2 or 3 episodes now, really since the Führer fight, feels so much like he actually gives a shit about why he's here. And it's matching the stakes that he set up in that first episode that his actions and behavior weren't meeting. And if Ling had been introduced in the first 10 episodes, when Ed and Al's relationship to their stakes were lower, I think it would have worked better. But because Ed and Al and Mustang, their plot had moved beyond those stakes into the larger, more adult and more dire circumstances of the show, introducing Ling, they introduced him too late. And so he comes into a show that's like cooking and going. Like the wheels are on the track and we're going, and it's cutting to a guy running beside the train trying to catch up. Now that he's on the train, it's great. But watching him run next to it was kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Everyone else is aboard. You showed up late. And so like now the show, it really works. And like this has been great. I love this. I love the show.
I'm glad. I'm excited for you to find out who Pride is.
Okay, let's go take a nap and then let's watch one more.
Let's do it.
Run it! Bastard!
Ling is just an accumulation of injuries right now.
Literally. He is adrenaline and a dream and nothing else.
Help me die! I beg you! Please kill me!
Ed, don't fall for it. This is how I know I would never be the protagonist of the show, because the guy would be like, please kill me. I'd be like, yep, sure thing, dude.
That's why Ling is here.
Yeah. Because I'm cold-hearted.
Listen to me! Those things are monsters!
Ed and Gawain share that thing of like, they hear something and they just immediately believe it.
He failed his wisdom check.
Yeah.
Let's play.
Ed, you're being fucked with. Get your shit together.
I'm sorry.
What the fuck? Is that people vomit?
Ed, no!
I did not like it.
No.
Ed has been reunited with his mother. In other hell.
That suit of armor's gonna pay big time. He stole Xiao Mei from me. Kidnapped her.
Al now has a worse enemy than the homunculi. May.
True, yeah.
That's her! Xiao Mei!
Hold it.
That's even more reason for us to go after them.
You're missing my point. I don't know if we can stop him.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's my panda.
No fucks given.
I could feel there was something wrong with this country since I got here. But this place, it's the source of it.
Are all people from Jing like homunculus detectors? Is it like a cultural thing?
No?
The gatekeepers?
They won't rip you up as long as you're with me.
Just pretend they aren't there.
Don't like it.
Does he know what happens to the people you swallow?
I'm sure he does. Father knows everything.
I really hope the reunion is Al meeting his dad again. Like, I really hope that's where we're going right now. Although, does Al remember his dad? I actually don't know.
Yeah. He's only 1 year younger than Ed, right?
Right. That's not that big a gap here.
It looks like a red stone. It's his core. A philosopher's stone.
Oh my god, getting eaten worked out.
It's right here. In front of me.
Now Al can have his body back. This was, you know what?
Job well done.
I give this show three or four more episodes and then we're done.
I think I've got a way to get us out of here! Come on, MP! Let me out!
Interesting. What the fuck? I like that May is like more competent than most of the characters on the show.
Yeah.
I also love that May is emotionally unbothered by this level of violence.
Yeah, no, she's from, the smallest house in Xing. She's got bigger shit to worry about.
Yeah.
Father can make anything. He made all of us, he did. He made me and lust, and he made envy.
This is so interesting. Like, it's just so, like, having a villain who's an idiot, who's willing to walk him down, is just like, I love this.
Someone's come to find me.
I'm gonna, like, lose it if the answer here is that that's not their dad, but that's his twin. And that Ed and Al's dad has, like, an evil twin.
I was certain that I would be the one chosen to lead this country. I firmly believed it, and I endured any training to make it so.
So he wasn't born a homunculus.
How disappointing. Another failure.
Bring the next.
Go ahead and lie down.
I love that they made young Führer
Look like Superman.
Yeah, he's the most Clark Kent motherfucker.
Once injected into the bloodstream, it begins to take over its new host in the human body.
Cool, okay.
The only options I had were to die or to overcome its power. Countless souls have battled for dominance within me, and only the most wrathful ones survived.
I love that that means that Lust had a battle for her soul with a bunch of people, and the lustiest ones won. There was just a really horny battle inside of her going on.
I believe different homunculus are made in different ways.
Yeah.
But I don't remember exactly.
Different experiments, because Gluttony was an experiment to make a door, and I guess Lust was then an experiment to make Daddy happy.
I collected all the fragments that I could find.
So this stuff, it's all from Xerxes?
That's right. They're pieces of a large mural from what remains of...
Oh, shit!
The mural was a summoning circle for human transmutation.
I do know that one. Well, I think I do.
Oh, shit.
But what would happen if I transmute myself?
You mean a living person?
Exactly. I can use this transmutation circle to deconstruct myself. Then I'll just put myself back together.
This is some Willy Wonka shit.
I'm not gonna act like I know anything about alchemy.
Hey, Envy! I've got something else that I wanted to ask you.
Why are you so ugly?
This piece takes it to the next level. An image of the lion swallowing the sun, symbolizing the Philosopher's Stone.
Daddy's trying to become God.
You killed them. You sacrificed all of Xerxes. You turned them into a Philosopher's Stone.
And then they did it with Ishval, and then... Oh, God. This shit's dark.
Yes.
Who's trying to make himself powerful enough to surpass God? It was your father, wasn't it? Tell me, Envy.
No, Ed. It was your father! Dun, dun.
You need to pay a toll, right, to open the portal. This should work.
Can Envy survive without his core?
No body. Those are the citizens of Xerxes, aren't they?
At one time, but their minds and bodies crumbled long ago.
Those are literally the people... That's fucking insane.
You're desperate to see these things as human because you want to believe that your brother still retains his humanity. These souls can never go back to being human. You have to use logic if you are to determine what a human is.
Fair. When you're doing the alchemical shit, that's fair.
You've got people you love waiting for you, don't you? So just make it back alive. And tell them yourself.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah. It's fine.
This, like, concept that you're inventing that's incredibly dangerous and probably going to kill you because last time you did it, it killed your brother and took your arm and your leg. Just do it right this time.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Not a big deal.
And also your arm's broken and...
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You better know what you're doing! I'm trusting you!
You better know what you're doing. Deep down, Ed is like, I don't.
I'm just
I am
hoping.
straight up making this shit up as I go.
Yeah.
I have to let my mind guide me into the portal.
Now what's this? You're not even trying to get your body back, are you?
That is very crazy. Holy
Your father's
shit.
on the other side?
Oh my god, Ed's gonna come shooting out of him. Oh my god. Oh my god, wait a second. We're not watching another episode for 2 weeks.
I know.
No!
Were there always 2 portals? Ow! Come on! Please! Hurry out! Ow!
I can't. I can only leave with my own soul.
What the fuck?
Someday soon, I'm coming back for you! Just you wait! Wait for me!
Wow, holy shit. What a place to fucking end.
Yup.
Okay.
2 weeks, you said?
Yup. Great. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that part.
That was fucking incredible. This show is so good. I love it.
It's something.
That
for sure.
was so cool. Everything about that episode was so cool. Holy shit.
Even like the circles. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck they mean. But they clearly mean something within the world and the characters, and they look rad. You know, like it's just like all the little details.
Yeah, and the way this show has gotten about like dispensing information, but also having Ed figure some of it out because he is smart.
Yep.
Is so fun because it's like character-driven plot progression in a way that is reliant on your main character being good at what you have told us they're good at.
And not just kind of like superhuman.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, he is special, but he's also got like relatable traits as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and his insecurities, like, you know, threaten to overcome him at times, but they don't. And like, Ed is such a weirdly like inspiring little guy. And I know he'd hate to hear it that way, but, you know, there's just, God, this show is so good.
Yeah.
The last like 6 episodes have just been like, once Ed really, like, because it really was like, I was like, look, I want Ed and Al to be more centered in this narrative, bring them back and like let them do stuff. And I was enjoying this stuff before that, right? Like I've never really hated the show. I've never even really disliked it. There's stuff in the beginning that was a little bit like it wasn't grabbing me as quickly as I wanted.
Yeah.
But like it's always been good, but like it's really gotten like amazing.
Yeah.
And I like when a show gets better as it goes on. There's nothing worse than feeling a show lose steam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're like, oh, like this was
ooh.
great, but like this is like it's spiraling away from what I want it to be.
Yeah.
And this show, not what I want it to be in that like it has to be something specific, but what I want to like be getting out of it.
Yeah.
And part of what I want to be getting out of it is surprise, right? And like this narrative is consistently surprising in a way that like is so fun. I like that there's been a really good payoff to them going to Xerxes, even though I don't think that going to Xerxes really was like the strongest narrative choice.
Yeah.
In the way that it was handled. The payoff of that is very is worth it. And I think that that's been really fun. God, Ling has become such a good character so quickly. It's wild. Envy's really cool.
And there's the stakes have truly appeared.
Yeah. Yeah. It is so interesting how much this and Attack on Titan have in common in terms of like what the stakes of the world are, what the like underlying plots are,
and like the themes.
Yeah, and yet there's something so interesting about the fact that these two shows have such similar concepts on like we're going to use proto-Germany and fascism and magic evil people But because this show, I don't think Attack on Titan uses that stuff very well. And I think that this show does, right? I think that this show shows, I think that Scar is a better handled version of what Eren Yeager is trying to be on his show without being the protagonist.
Right.
And I think that like the handling of Ishval and the handling of this show has a stronger idea of handling oppression by allowing it to be personal to its characters.
Yeah.
And what it means to be oppressed and what it means to be subjugated and what it means to have a genocide enacted upon your people in a way that Attack on Titan, like I had problems with the way that those things were handled on that show.
Yeah.
And so it really is interesting to like have been so frustrated with that show, which I felt like started so strong. Like I think, you know, like I've said so many times, those first 13 episodes are so perfect.
Yeah.
And that to me just felt like it was constantly slipping further and further away from being interesting to me.
Yeah.
Versus this show, which has just consistently gotten more and more interesting and is like really leaned into the horror of its world in a way that feels horrifying to its characters and isn't just like shocking for shock's sake.
Yeah.
Because the violence of the show isn't what's shocking. What's shocking is the emotional stakes of like the afterlife and God and what it means to our characters. And the violence is just violence, as opposed to it being like, look at how crazy big the next bit of violence is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
for sure
paralleling these two side by side, and the way that like one kind of lost me and one like can't stop bringing me closer and closer and closer to it is so interesting.
Yeah.
And I know people are going to be upset to hear me talk about it that way, but that's my like subjective experience. Other people are going to feel very differently about it because there is no objective experience to art, right?
Yeah.
And I tried to make that clear in the Attack on Titan stuff, where I was like, just because I don't like it doesn't mean that you shouldn't or that you can't or that you're wrong to, right?
Yeah.
I think that if you love that show, you love that show, and that's great. It just didn't work for me. And like the difference between that not working for me and how much this works for me is so interesting, considering that you know, I kind of, the first few episodes I was like, the magic's fun, but I don't know that I give a shit about this.
Yep.
And now I'm like desperate to watch more.
Yeah.
And we don't have time to.
I know. Who do you think was the first homunculus made? If you were to guess.
Gluttony is a good one. Lust, maybe? Like, you know, like I could see it being that Daddy was young and he was a young man and his first attempt was to create a woman. You know what I mean? It would be, if it gets into it, it would be very Adam and Eve.
Right.
For the first bit of extreme violence this man created be in service of him having, like, if his wife, like, left him or died or something, and he was like, I need to have a perfect woman who won't leave me, who will love me no matter what, who will be the sexual object that I want the woman in my life to be because I can't handle the emotional strains of an actual relationship. Daddy doesn't seem capable of a legitimate relationship with another person. So I think the first homunculus being a sexual object that he created would make a lot of sense narratively.
Okay.
I also think it could be envy because you have this character whose whole thing is... Well, actually, no, because they said Xerxes. So I don't think envy existed until Xerxes. So gluttony predates envy.
Yeah, they've said...
If
they have mentioned ages at some point, like...
Just clear ones?
Either age or order or something.
I can't remember. I know Wrath is relatively recent. I'm assuming Pride is newer than Wrath. Or maybe Pride... No, Pride might be older than Wrath. Wait. So Wrath was created... No, Pride must be the one that was created when Ishval happened.
Okay. Because Wrath was the one who instigated it.
Yeah.
And Envy, obviously, but like the two of them together.
Or Sloth... No, I know Sloth feels old. Because they talked about having to keep him, like, locked away, doing stuff or something.
Do you think he was like the first one?
Maybe not the first one, but it feels like he's been around a while.
Right.
It doesn't feel like he's new to them. Well, actually, Sloth might be. Because Sloth is... It kind of would make sense for it to go Sloth, who doesn't have a brain, first, right? Because he's not smart enough. He's like the first experiment. And so they have to, like, lock him away because he's not... They can't just let him out because he's not, like, you know, he's more feral than the rest. Okay. And then Gluttony's dumb. Right? Like, it could almost be order of intelligence. that Daddy's getting better at making homunculi, and so they are getting smarter as time goes on, which would make sense that Wrath being the Fuhrer and being the intelligent one, and then Pride being the one who's questioning Wrath's plans. Like, if they're getting smarter, then Wrath being a little bit more intelligent than Pride is interesting. Envy is a little bit older, right? Envy's not as smart as Wrath. They're, the only thing that throws that off is that Lust felt very intelligent, more intelligent than Envy, certainly. But I feel like if Envy was Xerxes, what was in between Xerxes and Ishval? No, right. When was Wrath created? What country fell 60 years ago?
You saw how Wrath was created just now.
Yeah, but where did that Philosopher's Stone come from?
Oh, like what they injected him with?
Yeah.
Well,
because the Philosopher's Stone needs like a country to be created.
Well,
or did they get like 2 out of Xerxes and they just didn't use it for a while?
I don't know if it requires like an entire country. I think the more souls means like the more powerful stone.
Okay.
But I am definitely like fuzzy on the details of that.
If Pride is only okay, but if Pride was created with Ishval's genocide, right? Then who could be Pride could be based on who is young, right? Oh, it's Fear Bradley's kid. Because they've got homunculi that can age now. Wrath was the first one. It's his fucking child. That's why it was on the grounds of the estate. It's oh my god, what is his fucking name? Sean? It starts with an S,
that's,
right?
The Wheel of Time.
Slim Shady. Salim.
Yeah.
Yeah. The real Slim Shady is actually the real Pride because, okay, I get it. So the homunculuses are getting better, they're getting smarter, and now they can age with Wrath. Because we've seen that Wrath ages, so they created a homunculus that was an actual child. Okay.
Cool, yeah.
I think I figured that one out.
I'm not
that
gonna
makes
say anything,
so much. It makes so much sense, right? That like as he's refining the technique, he is getting closer to literally being God. And so if his goal is to overtake God and become God, what is God's like greatest act? It's creating life. And so he has been refining the concept of the creation of life through the homunculuses. And so you've got something like Sloth that is this like is basically like the Jewish concept of the golem, right? Who is basically just strong and physical and capable of helping, but isn't intelligent. Okay. And then as he's been getting better with the homunculi, Wrath is the one that could age and was the one that is the closest to being human. And then with Pride, he actually created a like baby that is going to grow up and be a homunculus its whole life, which means the next step after that is being God, right? Like if you can create a life that is like the as close as you can get to God, that's interesting. Well, and then I guess creating a universe would be next, but who knows? Maybe that is his goal.
Interesting prediction. I can't say anything, but
thematically
that was really cool to watch you like be like, oh, okay.
Thematically, the show is very cool.
Yes, it is.
There's a lot there. I'm so impressed. I'm so glad that we stuck with it past like episode 4. Because I was kind of like, I don't know about this one. It's kind of... Oh, no, episode 4 is Nina. Yeah, no, that episode is great.
Yeah.
I know, past episode like 3 then. Like, because the first few episodes I was like, I don't know what Ed is doing. He's just like, he's an alchemist.
Yeah, it's very condensed. It's honestly like watching it again in comparison to the original, like it is kind of like a mess, a very fast mess, but like I definitely don't love the beginning of this one. I really, really want to one day watch like the original with you.
Yeah.
If we can ever find it somewhere. Maybe someone will send us the DVDs or something, I don't know. But like or Blu-ray.
Remember physical media? No, I will say this. I don't think the world building of the first few episodes of the show is very good.
Yeah.
And the reason is that like it took me so long to understand what Ed's job was.
Yeah.
Because I like it really genuinely, as someone who had never read the manga and didn't know anything about the show, other than like Ed has a metal arm and a red coat, and he has a robot friend. I went into it being like, oh, he's a state alchemist. That's like a what? And then like he's also technically a major. Like there were so many elements that like were seeded in later that with those first few episodes where he's just like going around fighting priests. I was like, what is this?
No, it's messy. Like honestly, I think so.
Is this but is it Christianity? What is the one thing the show is very weird about to me is that he wants to overtake God, but I have no concept of what God is in this world other than what Ed has seen.
Which was the religion guy.
But do people worship? No. Like he's literally seen God in the door. The
white. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm talking about that God. Do people know that God exists generally?
Well, the Ishvalans.
Daddy would actually know. Daddy would know that God exists, because Daddy's seen him.
I think so.
Yeah, in opening the door, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that like the concept of religion in the show.
It's a lot more diverse, I think, in the show than in like. Well, actually, like that's not true, but I guess on a scale, I think it would be more so because it's like we've seen like the Ishvalans had a religion, and then that like priest kind of started his own religion and was like, this God here, he blessed me, and this is what we're doing.
Yeah, but this is a world. This is a world where God is not like agnosticism is. It is possible to not be agnostic, right? In our world, it is impossible to not be agnostic. Everyone is agnostic in that, like, agnosticism is whether or not you know that God exists, right? Not whether or not you believe it. And so everyone is agnostic because none of us can prove that God is real. Right. But in this world, you can. Like God fundamentally exists, and we know multiple characters who, and not even like secretive characters. God. Oh, okay. Well, why wouldn't it be? It would be weird if that isn't God, though, because then, like, why is Daddy against? I love that I get to say Daddy so much on the show. It's so funny, and that Daddy's the bad guy. Daddy's usually the bad guy. Yeah, maybe it isn't God, but then, like, what is it?
Could be.
Yeah. It's so weird. That fucking shot when Ed goes there and the thing has its arm and its leg attached to it was so good. Mm-hmm. And then to see Al, I was so confused at first because I was like, is that, like, for a moment I was like, is that Winry? What is happening?
Oh,
because the long blonde hair.
Yeah. Her hair is more like white blonde, and Ed and Alice is more gold.
I didn't. Yeah, I couldn't figure out who it was for a second until he like turned around and I was like, oh my God, that's fucking Al.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
But also his body can talk without a soul, which I think is so interesting, and like what that means, and fuck, this show's so good.
Yeah.
All right, we need to end it, but goddamn, I love that. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave mean comments down below because the algorithm god is hungry and we must feed her. This episode, the algorithm goddess is.
I think you gotta give it to Al, just because he looks real hungry in front of that door.
I don't know. I'm gonna give it to May because May fucking murdered a fucking
bunch of chimeras. That's true.
Well, and Cerberus, right? Like,
I mean, it helped. They both did.
No, she fucking threw.
Scar got one head. She got the middle head. You know,
she threw knives into Cerberus's head and exploded it.
True.
Fluffy's brain splattered the walls of that fucking sewer. And I will say, having her fight a Cerberus as she descends into into essentially what is hell, very, very, very
hilarious. Yeah.
A nice bit of Greek mythology there. Thanks so much. The show blends a lot of mythologies in a very interesting way. It's just good. If you want to follow us around the internet, you can. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Claris Polaris.
Do something nerdy tonight, you dang nerds. This episode was so good, we barely talked about the Chimera fight, which was awesome.
It was, yeah.
Jesus.
I know.